What is the state of self-help on YouTube right now?
Well, I don't know how to start this video.
Yes, so lockdown effect.
We're talking about productivity and stuff and how it has or has not worked for us. It all started once upon a time with lockdown.
In the year known as 2020.
The year of the legendary coronavirus. Okay, we need to stop. But we were all locked up. We had this like dream-ish reality that like everything's virtual and we have like absolutely nothing to do with our lives. So
That summed up lockdown for me in one sentence. Like every single day in lockdown, online class, like always. I used to go on my bed, have my laptop open, play Minecraft.
I think I have watched every single English and like sometimes Hindi Kannada shows that I could watch during lockdown and did not study one bit, but somehow I managed through most of the exams. I think the lockdown, the main issue is after you come out of the lockdown when like reality hits you.
I mean, yeah, lockdown was mostly like a fairy tale where you don't have to do much.
Imagine the people who wrote like the board exams in 2020 and
So
2021.
lucky.
I don't know if it's lucky or not.
No, like the board papers were just MCQs.
See,
Just MCQs. That's it.
but yeah, so the aftermath of that reality, it hits you so bad, and like I think that's when I got really desperate and like I need to get my life together. And there was so much advice or not advice like online on reels, on YouTube videos, on shorts, literally even my mother. Okay. So I got like very overwhelmed and I had to jot it down somewhere, and I like pen and paper. So
Pen and paper,
I
behold.
behold a book with that's completely falling apart, but it has notes and stuff. And this book has like almost a lot of drawings mainly, but I'm a low-key fan. Okay. A lot of
Really?
yeah.
Really?
I just mention it every day. But a lot of drawings and a lot of like tips. Preparation for TT1, guys.
Why do you make it so? If it's pretty,
Huh.
then I don't think it'll work.
Ouch.
No, like in my experience, I've tried those
My
notes.
ninth grade me did not give a shit, okay? If it looks good, it's good. And that also explains, well, my marks. So,
Okay, see, ninth grade, I had an obsession with the aesthetic notes. With the highlighter, calligraphy everywhere. That's the reason I learned calligraphy.
I devise online. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And like before, we had already talked about, like we touched up on like this thing a little bit where he said that Pomodoro doesn't work for him. And like there was someone else like that argued that it may, or it like, so there are certain things that work or might not work, like blurting.
Speaking of blurting, I used to use blurting a lot in my 10th board. Honestly, helped me a lot. I can say it works for me, and blurting is more a revision technique, not a study technique.
Blurting, I think it does work. It's just always put with these other techniques like cornell notes, which is it's time consuming.
Dude, Cardinal, oh
Cornell
my
notes
god.
are so time consuming.
It took-
I don't have the patience.
It took me like half an hour to learn the layout and what every single space does.
And how to use them effectively, and
Yeah.
like it's like manually doing a Notion setup.
Yeah, and then this is the right side for like important points. To me, everything is important.
And the summary is not enough. It's like
Yeah.
that summary box that they give in Cornell is like not good. Like it's not enough for me to put the summary, and that's why I don't do Cornell notes.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Cornell
do
notes bad.
something called take down a point and doodle on the side.
I have retained a few habits from my aesthetic note taking phase, where like lots of people recommend that you fold the page first in half length this way.
Oh, the flashcard thing.
No, not flashcard thing.
Oh, okay.
And you fold the page, and then you don't write side to side. You write up to down, and then you offset the right part a bit, so it looks like a textbook.
Oh.
Yeah, so like I do that unintentionally now. So if you see my notes, there's main points on the side, and then arrow marks, and then another big paragraph right there.
So you know, like some like flashcards and stuff, like how you use it. So I was someone who's like lazy to like make flashcards, and like honestly, who has the time?
You just quizzle it.
No, I don't even do that. So instead of that, what I do is like I fold the page. Okay, I'll write down the question, and the answer.
Oh, and then cover the
one
answer.
sentence,
Yeah.
cover the question or cover the answer, and then like try to do it.
That was
That
like-
way you're taking notes. I've only done this once, and it has worked so good,
Then
and I've
why
never
don't you
touched it again thanks to procrastination. Because like it actually needs me to put effort. Yeah.
Speaking of procrastination, I feel like the reason I procrastinate is because I get things done even after I procrastinate, which makes me procrastinate further, and I can still get those things done. So it's just an endless cycle of endless stress.
But yeah, I've done it like once or twice. So just you're taking notes, you're covering one side, you're taking like that.
Yeah.
It works. But we should add this to the idea that's coming up in the end, guys. You have no idea.
Stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for watch the video till the end. I will find you.
As far as productivity goes, I am not a pen and paper person. I am a Notion person. I get how pen and paper works. It's very kinesthetic. Notion is like pick a template and customize it to your liking and do the rest. I did that. Took me like 30 minutes to set everything up. And now everything is automated. So if I put in the date for a test and what portions it has, it'll remind me to study. First off, it'll tell me how many days I have left, and then and those chapters that I link to it, it will tell me how long has it been since I studied them and how confident I am about them. So I don't have to remember that. Everything is on the Notion, and even stuff. So like there's one Notion page with the general stuff with all my assignments and exams and tests on one calendar. There's a general tab for school shit. Then there's another tab for my personal productivity stuff. So like working out, SAT prep, AP prep. What else do I do every day? So yeah, productivity has been, and it's been a journey full of ups and downs. I feel like now I'm getting the hang of it and actually updating my Notion instead of neglecting it like I used to.
That deserves an award, honestly.
Yeah, I think half of the reason is every single day I go to school, the first thing I do is open my laptop. And I have configured it so that Notion, the first thing I see when I open my laptop is my Notion calendar.
You have shit to do.
Exactly. That's the mindset I'm in. Now, branching from productivity to self-help. What is the state of self-help on YouTube right now?
So, there are like very controversial things that are on YouTube. Like, okay, let me talk about like health, like self-care, like because that's like the easiest example I can give. I had seen this thing online where someone is like, you should not do that because all your hair sticks together and when you comb it, everything will fall off, and when you like go to have bath, everything is going to fall. You're going to become bald by the time you're like 20. So like, I had seen that reel, and then I stopped putting oil in my hair, and like my scalp became really dry. And then like a few days after that, I came across this other reel that's like, you always have to put you always have to put oil like half an hour before you go to bed, or like half an hour before you go and like have bath, and that's very good for your hair.
I feel like the problem with that is they are generalizing the entire tips into you're supposed to, they're abstracting it.
Some things work for some people.
No, yeah, exactly. Some hair types, some scalp types.
And because everyone, just like us, has the freedom to go online and say things, you can't determine which is a credible source of information. TOK reference, knowledge and technology.
Oh god, and don't even get me started on the top 10 tips to help you become like Starboy.
Sigma.
No, it's like a Sigma trend, honestly. Like what? How to be a Sigma. Don't talk.
Oh, you think that's bad? I watched Wolf of Wall Street, which is
it's good.
Not age restricted, guys. Please go watch. No, oh my god, no, that's such a bad advice. I watched Wolf of Wall Street because like online it was like, oh, if you want to be a Sigma business person,
my god.
if you want to be a reality, I don't know, bro. If you want to be alpha, go watch Wolf of Wall Street. And like 13-year, no, wait, how old was I? Oh, sorry, let's be honest. 15-year-old me was like, you know what? I want to be like this. I'm going to go and watch Wolf of Wall Street. I'm like, the only good thing about that movie is like Margot Robbie. I'm never doing that again.
And DiCaprio.
Yeah, but like he is good in like every movie he does. Almost everything he does is like, it becomes like this big budget. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You know that one video where like rating you based on your glasses? Round frame people are very, very free flowing, apparently. And then square and rectangular, they're very decisive and determined.
You realize this is exactly what we mean, right? What is this? Where is this information coming from?
I'm distinguishedly educated on the most random topics. And then people with octagonal frames or like round with weird sides, they're very indecisive and get sidetracked a lot, which you can see.
Correct.
Correct. Yeah, so then this how do we start boy thing. But like I feel like it used to be good. For a year or two, it used to be good. Now it's very saturated and everyone's trying to do the same thing. And people so desperate to stand out are making up the craziest tips like make a pancake batter and put it in your hair overnight.
No, some of it is just helpful, and I'll say that like even for like girls and women and stuff, right? Like some tips are just blatantly being very rude to people in general. Like it's not even that like they generalize. You're so like you were like okay, so they generalize everything, and they give an information that could be used in some places and cannot be used in some places.
But they don't specify what.
Yeah, but they don't tell you which place you should use it in, and like you have to still learn it on your own, except now you're adding this complicated step that you wouldn't have tried otherwise.
Yeah.
Take advice online and please watch this podcast.
Yeah, and then as far as self-help goes, take some stuff, but I would say validate it, or if it works for most people with yours. Okay, let's take skincare for example. Don't just randomly follow a skincare routine. Actually look at people who have your skin type and find your skin type, do all that, and then find the routine that works for you. See what works, what
same
doesn't.
with like workouts and same
Yeah.
with anything honestly. Like even with studies, especially with studies, because some people's attention spans are naturally different than the other people's, and how you want to grow it is based on what kind of study tips you take or like how you want to improve and how slowly you want to take it and stuff like
Yeah, and getting into flow state is very hard for a lot of people. Even for me, it's like I have to get the right amount of challenge at the beginning of my study session, and then after I do that, like a small problem, if it's the right amount of challenge, I will immediately go into the flow state. I will not check my phone, I will not check my laptop, I will work for 3 hours.
Yeah, it can't be too hard, it can't be like
Yeah, it has to be perfectly challenging.
Yeah.
But that finding the perfectly challenging part is very hard.
But yeah, so and because of this challenge that we have, like we don't know where to use that information and who that information is for, we wanted to start something that might help our audience a little more with this.
Yeah, so basically we're gonna have 3 or 4 people on our podcast, including us, your hosts, the best people.
Of course.
Yes, of course, we made this. So 4 people, study techniques. One person is going to be the control, and he's going to study like he always studies, which is basically when he feels like it, he studies. When he doesn't feel like it, he won't study. And we're going to be doing Feynman technique for one person, Pomodoro for another, and what's the last one?
And that's all going to be for one subject.
Yeah.
3 separate techniques for one subject. Math!
Yeah.
So it's a completely quantitative subject and nothing can go wrong with this.
Math is a subject where we all have different skill levels in. We'll be adjusting our readings or like our final result based on that.
I think the reason like I want to do Feynman technique is because I don't have that pace as you both do. Like with this, like you're already like to some extent doing well.
Okay, now see the thing about me is it's not really a pace first. I try to understand it in the shortest time possible. I'll mess up a lot of mistakes. I'll mess up a lot of details. I'll get the general overview. I'll mess up a lot of details. I'll try a problem, can't do it. I'll get frustrated. I'll go back to the starting video, rewatch it again, look for those specific details, and try another problem. So I keep going like that until I perfect the problem.
So that's like a method you invented for yourself.
Pretty much, yeah.
But yeah, because one thing like doesn't work for someone else, I'll be doing something that is more relying on understanding the concept. He's doing something that's like a little more about practicing what you already know and how confident you feel.
Yes, so I guess that's it.
That's it. You please stay tuned for the next episode where we tell you the results after writing the same worksheet, guys.
Yeah. Also, we have midterms in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Oh shit, we have midterms in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm just realizing.
We need to stop.
Existential crisis moment.